Here we are in the book segment. Of course, we turn it over to our resident bookworm himself. It's the great Sven Casey. Sven, what books are turning you on this week?
Turning me on? I don't talk about those books in public. But
if you wish to come to your house, and he'll sit down with you and talk to you about some stuff.
I will... Okay, this week I'm going to talk about something that's near and dear to my heart. As you'll know from previous podcasts, I'm a big Hunger Game pusher. I think the books are great, the movie was great, everything, but Hunger Games is just great. And a lot of people ask me now that the movie's been out and I've read the books, 1,000 times each, what do I read to kind of, cure my Hunger Game hangover? Because a lot of people who have read the books find that they want more books kind of along that same line. So I'm just going to kind of give our listeners who are suffering from Hunger Game withdrawal, if you will, a couple of book series to check out that I have read and I find have filled the void left by the Hunger Game, that from not reading the Hunger Games. The first series that I want to mention is the James Dashner is the author. It is the Maze Runner trilogy. It's very similar, set in the future, dystopia. The major difference is the protagonist is male versus female. There's still a bit of a love triangle in the series between the protagonist and two female characters. Currently, there's 3 books in the series: The Maze Runner, The Scorched Trials, and The Death Cure. And there's actually a prequel book coming out this summer called The Kill Order that is a prequel to the trilogy. So I find it's very similar tones, very similar setting to the Hunger Games.
So what exactly is the story then? Just give us a quick paintbrush over what the Maze Runner is.
The Maze Runner is based around a near dystopian future where a solar flare so intense pretty much burns the entire Earth's surface between the 39th parallel and the 39th parallel in the southern hemisphere. Like, the entire center of the Earth is just barren, scorched. You can't be out in the sun because it's like instant death kind of thing. And the problem is the solar flare has released a biological virus that was in a high security military lab somewhere that is raging through people's bodies and turning them into almost mutant zombie-like creatures that deteriorate into psycho beings who want to eat the flesh of others. Yay!
Wow. It's the feel-good book.
It's the feel-good book of 2011.
Curl up on the couch and read a little Maze Runner to the kids.
Yep.
There you go.
Yeah. As much as that sounds, a little bit over the top, it's really worth the read, I think. If you love the Hunger Games, you will enjoy the Maze Runner trilogy. Especially any male fans of the Hunger Games, because this is kind of more geared towards the male audience than the female. Females will still enjoy it, but definitely kind of more for the male audience.
Excellent. What are the other books then that you're suggesting?
Another series that I have kind of found solace in and filling the void of Hunger Game is the author is Veronica Roth, and it's the Divergent trilogy. There's only 2 of the 3 books right now. The second book actually just came out not too long ago, maybe a month or so ago. But the first book, Divergent, and the second book, Insurgent, are again.
I'm sorry, Sven. Is the third book Detergent?
There's no title yet for it, but that's I have nothing more to say to that about it.
So what is it? What is this trilogy about?
Again, we are talking the not too distant future. The government system as we know it is kind of crumbled and dissolved, and society is run by 5 factions, and you select at the age of 16. You select which faction you want to live in, and each faction has its principles and its policies, and it provides a certain aspect to society. So these 5 factions work together to create this world. And of course, because we're human, this system which has been put in place, which is supposed to be, the perfect system to help us coexist, ends up fracturing and starts to dissolve and you are kind of left with, the failing of another government system. And it kind of revolves around the protagonist, which we are back to a female protagonist. It revolves around her life and her selection of which faction she wanted to be in, and how she deals with watching the society kind of dissolve around her. And unfortunately,
is there a love triangle?
There's no love triangle. There is a love interest, but it's pretty much just one. So it's
good for her.
This one it focuses more on the political issues than the love issues, because they pretty much just they take the love right out of it. They say, here's the guy that she likes, he likes her, and they're together. Here's the political side. Here's what's going on in this society and why it's failing, and what her take on that is.
Excellent. Well, that'd be good check out to read. That's for sure. Is there a third one for you to check out? For us to check out, I should say.
No, those are the 2 series that I have read, that I have found to fill the void for my Hunger Game withdrawal. And then right now I'm just reading some Christopher Moore right now. He's a comedic author. He does funny books and just really easy to read. You can check him out. I'll talk more about him next week, because he deserves a full book segment.
Okay, can I make you a suggestion? Sure. Can you go and read Abraham Lincoln Vampire Hunter?
I have it, actually. It's on order, actually.
Excellent. Good. Now, when you read that, let me know, and we'll have a discussion. Great book. Great book. Read it before the movie.
Yes. That's the plan. That's why I ordered it, because I want to read it before the movie.
Yeah.
So Pride and Prejudice and Zombies is pretty hot too.
I read that one, and I didn't think it was that great.
Too much old talky, is that what you're saying?
Well, no, like I've read Pride and Prejudice a couple of times for school, and I enjoy that book. It's a good book. It's a classic. And I don't know. The first third of the book I enjoyed, and then after that I don't know if it just, the zombies just seemed forced.
You know what's even better? It's the Cliff Notes for Pride and Prejudice. Man, you can read that. I could read that several times over. It was so easy.
Well, that's where you and I differ, Joe. I like the classics. You like the comics.
I love Abraham Lincoln Vampire
That's
Hunter,
not a classic.
And you will too.
It
will be.
I'm sure.
That's how.
I hope I enjoy it, but
you'll enjoy it. You really will. Perfect. Well, that's it for our book segment. Thank you there, Mr. Sven, and of course Paul. And we'll be back right after this.